As we continue our devotions from the book of Revelation, we're going to jump forward a couple chapters to chapter 4. And I'd encourage you to read chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. The symbolism here really starts to kick in. For example, as there's talk in verse 4 of the 24 elders dressed in white robes. And we can imagine these representing perhaps the 12 patriarchs of Israel and the 12 apostles of Jesus, and how they've got crowns on their head, and from the throne there's lightning and thunder, and there's a sea of glass like crystal, that even in heaven there is this separation between God the Almighty and even those who are around and worshiping Him. And our verse for today is verse 11. This is the final verse of the chapter, and we are to picture all the 24 elders and the living creatures, and they're all there falling before the one who is on the throne and worshiping the one who lives forever and ever. And they cast their crowns before the throne, singing, "You are worthy, our Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they existed and were created." And part of what I just want to touch on today is just this idea that God is the creator of all things. It's really remarkable in New England in the fall to see the beauty of the foliage as the leaves change, to think of the cycle of life that is a part of everything, and how the leaves fall and help to nourish and nurture the ground, and the nutrients go back into the soil, which help the trees again then in the spring, and how we have birds and fish that migrate and go south and then return in the spring and in the summer, how the earth journeys around the sun in its orbit, and we go from season to season, and all that God has woven into creation so that life exists here on this planet Earth. It really is stunning to imagine and to think about and to try to wrap our head around. And when it comes to people, it's also important to understand that God has created each and every person and desires a relationship with each and every person. Today is the day when our national election will take place. People will be going to the polls. Some of you will have already voted. And we don't know when or how long it will take for a winner to be announced in the presidential election. And we don't know whether things will go peaceably in the coming weeks and months, or whether there will be trouble. But I think it's helpful to remember on a day like today that we worship the God who created all things, the entire universe, everything in the earth. And the sun will go down tonight, the sun will come up tomorrow, the tide will come in, the tide will go out, and life will continue to move forward. God's great governance of the universe is much greater than any one human leader in one small country, in one small planet, in the vastness of all that God has made.